Howdy, it's Chris Bohr with week 3 summary. A little less hectic with last week since we didn't have to create a video, and less failed experiments in general, and kinematic assignments went smoother. Main topic this week regarding physics is force, and unlike last week, completely new to me. I paused and followed the instructions between your pencast and did all the stuff that you wanted me to do, and my guesses and my answers were all pretty much wrong, so completely forgot Newton's 3 laws. So basically the 3 laws are: everything has inertia, meaning they have a resistance to change, velocity to keep on going. If it's at rest, it'll stay at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. Second law is the law of acceleration, just a mathematical formula: force equals mass times acceleration. And the last law was every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Which, speaking of that, I have a question. Just can't intellectually grasp the law. Like, how do we measure the forces? I can understand every action has a reaction, but how do we measure that the forces equal? How do we prove that? I didn't really understand, like, your analogy traveling to Tempe from the Williams campus or the other campus, how there would be the same vector distance, but I just didn't really see how that relates to force. I know you said that effects and forces from a reaction are different, but I can accept that, but it's just have a hard time grasping it. Like, conjunction with the math formula. Let's say if I punch a wall, my fist being 2 pounds and it's accelerating at, say, 3 millimeters a second squared, so the force of is going to be equal to 6 newtons or whatever unit they use for force. And see, if the wall is 200 pounds, the wall is going to have to accelerate at 0.03 millimeters per second squared. So it's just kind of confusing. So I could just use some more elaboration and clarification on the law. I guess what may help me understand it more is, like, what would happen if the third law didn't exist. I also did all the kinematic problems all the way through. It was pretty much the same subject problems as last week, dealing with acceleration at different events. Of course, a little bit harder, but I think it went smoother for me, especially less motion grasp, which is always a plus. I also resubmitted my Nature of Science in 4D or quad-dimensional responses to that. Provided several other people's threads. So watched the Did You Know video. Wasn't a huge fan of the overall pessimistic tone, but I mean, point taken. Started researching controversial topics. So I think my only questions this week was just regarding the Newton's 3rd law. Just to use clarification. And next week, I assume we're gonna continue the spiral kinematics. I'm guessing pick off where we have the collision problems. We'll probably apply force into that and see how it works, is what I'm guessing. I'm gonna start early on my neat video creation because that took a lot longer than I expected last week, and a lot of failed experiments. So might do a video on VPython. We'll see about that. Of course, research more on controversial subjects. Thinking about doing stem cell research, religion in schools, or maybe 9/11. One of those 3 topics. And here's my notebook. Show you up close like I did last week. Probably a bit easier to understand. What I did forget to do was scan my hours I logged, so just read it off real quick. Discussion board, probably a few hours over the course of the week, pretty much every day. Kinematic assignment took a little bit less this week, probably around 9 to 10 hours. The force notes took about an hour and a half. Let's see. So did kinematics pretty much every day except for Friday, and research took about another hour, and watching the You're Not Special video only took about 10 minutes. Reading it and trying to formulate a response in my head. And The rest of what's in here, including all the kinematics problems, since we didn't submit it this week, and my notes on force, show that to you right now.